Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Phenomenology of Spirit presents the development of consciousness from its most immediate form of experience toward a condition in which consciousness understands itself, society, history, and ultimately the relationship between thought and reality. The movement of the book is developmental. Consciousness begins with one conception of truth and treats it as complete. But through experience, contradictions appear and the original position becomes unstable, forcing a move toward a more comprehensive form. This movement is dialectical. The entire book is a journey where consciousness repeatedly discovers reality is more complex than it believed. It moves from simple sensory objects toward self-consciousness, society, history, morality, and finally, absolute knowing. It's not just about what consciousness knows, but what it discovers itself to be. Hegel begins with sense certainty, the immediate sensory experience. At this stage, consciousness believes truth consists of the particular object standing directly before it. Suppose I say, "This tree is here now." It seems concrete, yet it contains a deep contradiction. Consider the word now. If I say, "Now it is night," and return later, the statement is false because now it is morning. The same applies to here. The words meant to capture unique experiences turn out to be universal concepts. Even immediate sensory knowledge is mediated through language. Consciousness moves into perception, understanding an object as a thing with properties. An apple is red, round, and sweet. But here a new contradiction appears. How can one thing be many properties? Perception cannot explain the structure of reality, so we move again. Next is understanding. Here we search for underlying structures, like the law of gravity, to explain appearances. But we realize these laws are conceptual structures through which we make the world intelligible. The knowing subject becomes impossible to ignore. This marks the transition to self-consciousness. Identity depends upon recognition. We want to know we exist as independent subjects, but initially we want recognition without surrendering our own independence. This demand for recognition leads to a struggle. The struggle results in the master and slave relationship. The master appears to win but receives only defective recognition from a dependent being. Meanwhile, the slave transforms the world through labor, discovering personal agency within the objects they shape. The apparently weaker consciousness experiences the more significant development. After this, consciousness turns inward. Stoicism argues for internal freedom regardless of external circumstances. Skepticism then questions every fixed claim to truth, but both are incomplete, leading to the internal division Hegel calls the unhappy consciousness. The unhappy consciousness feels divided between a temporary, imperfect self and an eternal, perfect reality. It longs to overcome this separation. Gradually, it realizes the infinite cannot be foreign if it is capable of thinking it. This prepares the transition into reason. Reason believes reality is intelligible. Observing reason attempts to study humans scientifically, even through phrenology. But a human cannot be understood merely as a physical object. Action contains intention, social relationships, and history. We discover that reason is social. Hegel critiques the attempt to reduce personality to the shape of the skull. A physical characteristic cannot explain consciousness. Reason moves beyond observation to become practical, realizing individuals exist within a larger social reality of spirit. Spirit is consciousness understood as collective. We are formed within a social world of language, law, and custom. Hegel begins this historical movement with Greek ethical life, illustrated by the tragedy of Antigone, where family and state duties collide. Antigone represents family and divine obligation. Creon represents public authority and the state. Both embody legitimate principles, but their absolute refusal to recognize each other leads to tragedy. The immediate harmony of the Greek world breaks apart. The breakdown creates alienation. Private identity separates from public institutions. This leads to the French Revolution and the principle of universal freedom. But when freedom is understood purely as the destruction of limits, it becomes unstable. Hegel interprets the Reign of Terror as the destructive result of abstract freedom. The revolutionary project destroys individuals in the name of an ideal. Freedom cannot exist only as negation. It needs concrete laws and institutions to be meaningful. Consciousness turns to individual conscience and the beautiful soul which avoids action to stay pure. Finally, we reach religion, where spirit becomes conscious of itself through representations like the incarnation, before moving toward pure conceptual understanding. The final stage is absolute knowing. It's not omniscience, but a transformation in how we understand reality. We realize that consciousness is always involved in the world it knows. Subject and object are distinct but no longer absolutely separate. Spirit finally understands itself. The journey of consciousness is also the journey of spirit. We transform the world and are transformed by it. Contradiction is not something to be avoided, but the force through which we develop. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.